from 40. Cut that
We're
out.
38.
I'm not 38.
We are going to be 38.
I am not 38.
Next month, 38. You 38.
I have more to go.
No.
But all right, so I'm gonna start. I don't know, my energy is just so low. All right. All right, welcome. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Monique, and this is Uni, and we're your hosts. On this podcast, we will be discussing just our everyday topics and having you join into the conversations that Uni and I have on an everyday basis. So we hope that you're able to basically follow us along. On today's podcast, one of the topics that Uni and I will be discussing is about what is it like, or how to navigate when is one of your friends have a child and the other one is childless. Like, how do you maintain that type of relationship? Just to give a little
drugs.
Just to give a little background history, Uni and I have known each other since we were 10 years old. Mm-hmm. So we've known each other for over 30 years.
That's not good.
No, is it 30 years?
It's less. It's less
than 30, but almost 30 years.
Yeah, because we have until 40. We're 2 years away from 40.
No, we're not 2 years away from 40. Cut that
out.
We're
38.
I'm not 38.
We are going to be 38.
I am not 38.
Next month, 38. You 38.
I have more to go.
No,
but
girl, you're old.
We have been friends since we're 10 years old. Yes, within our friendship, we've had some breaks, right? Like any relationships, we had some breaks in our relationship. And then we were fortunate enough that our break happened around high school, because you went to a different high school than I did. And then you gravitated upstate where I stayed in the city.
Not my fault.
So we had a break. And then after the break, we kind of got back together in our 20s. Mm-hmm. And then since then, we haven't had any breaks in our relationship.
No, we talk pretty much every day, or we send memes to each other, which I haven't been able to do only because my Instagram wasn't working, so I couldn't send you any memes.
Okay. But I've been trying to send you the text message, and we even do send memes to each other while we're on the phone with one another. So that's our dynamic. Uni does have a child, and she has another one on the way. I am without children at this moment. And we kind of wanted to kind of discuss, like, how is it that we were able to keep this going? Because I know, especially in a lot of female relationships, it is hard for, especially as people's lives changed or changing, it's kind of hard for females to kind of maintain their relationships. So what do you think, Uni, is one of the things that is helping us still, we're together still?
I think it's mostly communication. I think from you, it's a lot of understanding. Mm-hmm. Because I think a lot of times when you don't give somebody attention, people just shy away. But I think because having you as a friend, you're understanding. I have a life, you have a life, and that we're not always going to, it's almost like being in a relationship. You can't see each other all the time. You can't always be on each other all the time, but when you do get together, that's your quality time. It's not the quantity. It's not like, oh, we need to see each other all the time. It's the quality of the time. And I think because we have such good quality together and so much good times together, it just keeps our relationship going and flowing. Like when we do see each other, it's almost like, honestly, I feel like I don't even have kids when I'm with you, because it's just like, okay, we're just enjoying each other. So I feel like a lot of times it's communication, as much as we can give to each other. And I think it's also having somebody who understands and accepts things, because some people will just take it as like, well, you're not giving me this time, well, and F off kind of thing, but you understand. And even like when I came down to you that one time with Fox, it was supposed to be our time, but I had Fox but you took it upon yourself to be like, let's figure out what we can do for Fox. While I think most people would have been like, well, was supposed to be a girls' day. This is supposed to be a girls' night or whatever it is. But it's like, no, let's still have fun. Let's enjoy this. And then next time, hopefully we can connect.
Because
Just
yeah.
be us.
And I think one of the things that I did like that you say, and I know we say this all the time, a friendship is a relationship.
Mhm.
It's not a romantic relationship, but I do believe that having solid friendships kind of build you up or teach you how to be in a romantic relationship,
Mhm.
in the sense of, like you said, that, you know, our communication is not always that great, but we try our best to communicate what our needs are. Like the other day, you were like, no, I'm coming and I'm staying. You know, like, I'm not just coming, I'm coming and I'm staying with you, and then I'm, you know, then I'll leave on Sunday or something like that. But it's basically the open communication. I feel also paying attention to one another, because I know, like, I don't know if it's because we've been friends for so long that over the years you kind of learn when to step forward, when to step back. So for example, like, I know that, you know, when you're going through something, my first instinct no longer is to like jump out and say, okay, let me fix it. Now it's more like, no, she is venting. I know how Uni is. If she needs my help, she will tell me I need help.
Mhm.
So it's like learning the communication between is not always going to be verbal, but it's just like the way that the person is moving. And a lot of times it's just not what the person is saying. And then you even mentioned, I know in our other conversations off this platform, in a sense of, you say, okay, you ask yourself, is this worth it?
Oh
If
yeah.
this is worth it, then I need to work at it, because it's not just, okay, oh yeah, Uni's my friend. It's like, okay, in order to keep this relationship going, there are things that need to be done. And it's the understanding of both people of how much can I give. So it's like, it's not like when, you know, you're younger, you know, you're always on the phone with your friend, you're always hanging out and everything. As you kind of get older, that time frame
Yeah.
is shorter, right? Because we have lives outside of one another. So
I wish we didn't. I could care less. Like, I don't like any of your friends. I'm jealous.
no. It's a word I learned. It's possessive. It's
Okay.
stronger than jealousy, but it's possessive.
I don't like any of. I'm happy Monique has friends that she can turn to, and don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for them. That doesn't mean I want them in her lives. Like, I don't want them there. I rather them not be there so I have more of her time. But I understand, because I cannot give her everything she wants, because I'm busy myself. She needs her friends and she needs her time. So I'm okay with that.
And I
I'm
think
okay.
that's the thing that we have in common, is that we both are possessive of one another. Because, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
even sometimes you'll tell me, oh, you know, I met a friend. And so I was like, no, that's not your friend. Like, don't be
Oh
coming
yeah.
over here saying that that person's your friend, because that person's not your friend. But I think because of, you know, it's not healthy, but because
We have a toxic relationship. I'm very certain of it. But
but you
it's
know,
it's
we have
okay.
the understanding of one another, that, you know what, one person can't fulfill all of your needs, right?
Exactly.
You
In
have
a
different needs.
it and I will have to say this for me though, in a intimate relationship, it's I'm good with just one person. But because I don't know, I guess a friendship is different. I know that, you have a friend that you go to movies with, you have a friend that you talk to on the phone with, your work friend. I don't like her. Um, I don't like any of them. I like them because they make you happy. I don't like them. I'm sorry. I'm just letting that be public.
Yeah, I think
I'm
they're
pretty
all.
sure there's people out there like that, like us out there.
No, it's like it's you know, people who don't understand will look at it as it's toxic, but it's not like, you know, you're tying me down or, you know, talking bad about people. It's more like, you
I
know,
kind of know.
it's it's more like, you know what, it's an understanding, right?
Yeah.
That this is how our relationship works. We are, unfortunately, because of our lives and everything, we are not able to spend as much time with one another, but we try to figure it out, whether it is, okay, can you, like, say if I come up to you, because, let's preface, we both live in the state of New York, but you live like almost
2 hours.
almost 2 hours away from me. I forgot that you moved even further. But although we have that distance, it's more like, okay, if I'm coming up there, we're going to hang out, we'll spend some time together. If you're coming down here, we'll spend some time together. If you're bringing, my baby here, it's like, okay, we're going to do something with the three of us that, it's basically what we're doing is kind of, I don't want to say it's planned, but it's kind of determine, like, what is the dynamic? Is it just going to be you and I, or is it going to be, other people there, or is Fox going to be there, and how do we coordinate? Because, like, I feel like when it's other people, we kind of have to plan what we're going to do.
Yeah.
When it's just us, we'll figure it out as we go along.
I mean, what was it? How long ago? Summer?
Yeah, summer.
So I came down to see Monique during the summer, and it's like, what, 9:30 at night, and there's a psychic. That lady was such a bitch. There was a psychic lady, and it said it was open. So we're standing outside calling, knocking on the door, and it was very spontaneous. But then we realized, okay, well, apparently we really want to see a psychic. So now we're going to plan it. So Monique came up with the idea, like, the next time we know we're going to see a psychic, if you come down here, let's just plan ahead. Because we do a lot of spontaneous things a lot.
Yeah, because it's like one of the things that I do enjoy about you is that I don't have to think about how to entertain you, if that makes sense. It's like, I know that if I like it, you'll like it. I don't have to really think about, okay, is she okay? Is she entertained? It's like, okay, we're sitting down on the couch, just like when you came down, we were watching Good Girls. I think that's what it was called, together. And so we're just sitting on the couch and we're making snarky comments or whatever.
We were supposed to actually be working.
No, we're supposed to, but we know we can't do that. We know we can't do that. Where we, like we said, we have to plan out where the first night you come, we plan a psychic and we chat all night. And then it will be like the second day you're here, that's when we will do our work. And then the third day when you're leaving, we'll wind down type of thing. But that's something that we're learning, right?
You're still probably not going to do.
No, I think we'll at least do the first part.
The first part we would do. The working part, I don't know. We are just like, we are also procrastinators. Very big.
Yeah, but I think because we knew that we could get away with it. Because when we need to work, we're very hard workers.
We do work. We are really good at last minute working.
Yeah, we are
good at that.
But I don't know. I feel like within our friendship, I don't want to sound bad, but it's a low maintenance friendship. It's not a high maintenance where it's I'm not saying that it's not a lot of work. I think we've put in the work over the years. And like you said, because we know that this is something that we want to have work, there are things that that may piss you off or may piss me off. You even said you think about, okay, is this something that is worth ending us? If it's not, then I'm going to move forward from it.
I mean, we had situations like that where it was like, I think we're both mad at each other or whatever it is, because we just didn't agree. But it's like, it really is that really the end of, 20 plus years of a relationship. And it's like, no, like it wouldn't, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to end because there's so much to the relationship. It's not like, how can you throw it away? Like,
and I feel like we bring so much to one another in a sense of, I know, like when I see you, I feel rejuvenated, like, like in person.
We both feel it.
It's like, I feel like, oh, I could take on once you leave, I'm like, I could take on the world. Nothing could bother me.
You got it. You got it. Let's go. Like we're both cheerleaders for each other. I think that's another thing. It's like we both love to see each other flourish and successful, mostly because we know that if one of us becomes famous, then the other one doesn't need to work. That's the goal in life. Like if I know Monique becomes very successful, I just need to be her entourage. I do not need to ever work. I never need to do anything, you know. And that's what I'm hoping for and pray. I pray for every day. Um, and I think that's how you should treat friendship. Like hopefully your
Yeah,
best.
it's not a competition. I think that's what sometimes get in the way of female relationships, is that over time I think it becomes a competition where it's like, oh, it's more like a frenemies than an actual friendship,
Oh yeah,
right? Whereas like, oh, she looks like this, well, I'm gonna look better than her. You talk, and that's why I kind of, I think why I don't like to mix people, is that especially with females, I feel like it tends to get catty when you have more than two. Three is kind of pushing it, depending on how how much of a maintenance that three relationship is. Like if it requires too much attention, then I think it could get really catty, especially with females. But I feel like with two, for me, is this I could handle that a little bit better.
I
Um,
don't like people, so for the I could like
yeah, we
one.
both are more like a one-on-one type, because even
Yeah,
like say with your other friends, it's more like a one-on-one thing. It's not like a whole group of people, because I'm more of a quality time person. So I feel like if I have a whole group of people, I cannot give everyone the quality that I would expect also.
yeah,
But I feel like that's one of the things with females relationship, is that, the cattiness gets in the way.
yeah.
Also, like say when now you start dating someone or you start having a significant other, that gets in the way, in a sense of, I feel like a lot of females don't understand the value of having a friendship. So because they don't understand that value, or they don't, or the person that is single, or the person that has a spouse or a partner, don't realize that we could still be friends. It's just that the dynamics or how we communicate or how we interact will have to change, and it's
Hmm.
something that we both have to agree on, right? Like I said, like when you're younger, you may see each other more, but I don't see you maybe twice a year in person. But we have our phone conversations, we have our texting. We don't text every single day. We'll get, like you said, we'll send each other emojis every single day, but we don't text every day. You'll call me when you're probably on your way from home, or on your way home, or on your way somewhere, and then
Yeah,
we'll end up on the phone for 5 hours just talking and catching up. But I think it's because we both understand that, okay, we both are busy, this is a relationship, we both want to keep this relationship, and we need the relationship to grow. How can we make that happen? But I don't think
exactly.
most people realize that even though you have kids, even though you have a significant other, your friendships are important.
You need that. I mean, I feel like it's almost like having blood without having a blood related family member. You know, your relationships with your significant other, it could fail. Not to say that your friendship is not going to fail, but I feel like there's more of a, you know, at that level, at the level that we're at, I feel like that's, I'm not saying we can't fail, but
No,
I
anything can
don't see
happen.
that happening. But, you know, any kind of relationship we get into can end in divorce or separation or whatever it is. Your friend is always going to be there. Your friend knows you, accepts you for everything that you are. And not to say that your significant other doesn't. Um, but there's a different bond when it comes to a friendship. It's almost like a sisterhood or a brotherhood if there are, you know, males or people who identify as males, you know, listening. It's just a different dynamic when it comes to it. Um, because I feel like sometimes with a significant other, I think there's more things that you have to give,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Or is like you have to take care, not take care of, you just have to take care of them
Yeah, I'm not,
in a
you're not
way.
asking
Yeah.
for me to do your laundry and clean your house, take take the garbage out. You know, you're not asking for any of those things. All you're asking for me is time and communication. Well, when you're in a different, when you're with a intimate relationship, there's so many other
Yeah, there's
factors, so
others.
much
Yeah.
demands. But with a friendship, it's just kind of it's kind of almost like, in a sense, relaxing. Not to say it is relaxing, but it's like I said, I'm not. I'm not cooking for you. You're not asking these demands of me, cleaning, taking care of the kids. You're not asking any of that. It's almost like just, it's just our time and that's it. I don't need to do anything else but just give you time and communication. While when you're in intimate family kind of relationship, there's so many things on your shoulders. Um,
No, it's more because even like you see those movies that were made more in the 2000s where you will have like someone that abandoned her friends
yeah.
because she got married, had kids, now she's divorced, and now she's going to look for those friends and just expect those friends to just pick up from where it left off. And it's like you can't just pick up from where you left off necessarily if you went years without communicating, because we all are growing as individuals. What my expectations are from a friendship might have been different from when I knew you years ago, you know. And that to me, it's where I feel like they don't people don't realize that there are certain things that, you know, you're not going to tell your business to everyone, but there are certain things that your friends offer and certain things that your significant other offers, but both relationships teach you how to be better people or a better
Mhm.
person, right? So it's like if I feel like if you don't have one, or if you don't have the friendship, now when you go through certain things, who are you going to be able to count on? Because there's certain things like, you know, your family is going to be able to help you with, and certain things you probably don't feel comfortable with your family telling you. And I think that's where it comes to whether or not you have found that connection, because I think a friendship is like a relationship in the sense of not everyone you're just going to be friends with. And the older you get, you realize not everyone you want to be friends with. So it's almost
We
like
don't have
when,
time. We don't
yeah,
have time.
yeah, and none of that, but it's like that connection is, are you worth my time? You
It's
know what I mean?
energy. I have to put energy into this regardless of it being, we already established ourselves. It's kind of there. We have our foundation down. We have a strong foundation. That's what you also need in every relationship,
Yeah.
is the strong foundation. You could always build on top. You could always take down. You could always add. But your foundation, if it's not there, if it's not solid, if it's not good, your house is going to collapse. So we already have our foundation, so we can withstand long periods of time of not really interacting with each other. um but I feel like, I don't know, I feel it's just too much.
But no, but the
We
level of
need
interaction is different because, like we stated before, like I have a friend that her and I we meet every Friday, whether we go to the movies together or what, or we sit in each other's houses and watch movies. Even when we had, you know, the big P happening where no one could go anywhere, you know, we zoomed each other and we zoomed the movie together. I have another friend where every Mondays, that's our time where we talk from like 5 o'clock from when she gets out of work to probably midnight. So I feel like it's just learning how you're going to work around these relationships, right? Like we said, we don't talk every single day, but we do touch base with one another. I have an idea of what's going on with your life. You have somewhat of an idea of what's
Well, we
going
also
on.
have a business together, so it's like we kind of have to talk.
Not even that, but I feel like
We have to
because
kind of talk.
no, but yes, but no, in the sense of even though we have a business together, I feel like it still hasn't changed our interaction
No.
level. You know, now I'm more like sending you pictures, like say, which color do you like best, or which
Because half the
font.
time I'm just like on the couch, like, I'm dying. Okay, I'll pick that one. I'm dying. Like, being pregnant is not fun this time around. It's
It's
not.
it's different
I've
every
been
pregnant.
burping and I'm literally tasting seaweed every time I burp. And I haven't had seaweed.
No, but I feel like even though we like I said, we have a business together, you would think that we will talk more. But we don't, because I think that's where the procrastination comes in. That's the understanding that comes in the sense of you may see something and you're like, okay, I think Monique would like this. I kind of like this, but I'm between two choices. Let me send it to her. It doesn't take a whole discussion. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I think for us also, we have so much of the same similarities when it comes to things
Mm-hmm.
that I know, like, you are going to make the right choice regardless, because I will agree with about 99% of the time, I'm going to agree with what you feel because we have similar
No, we have
ideas.
similar ideas. And that's one of the things I do like about this friendship is that we have like you would say, like we will have similar thoughts. You would voice them, they will stay in my head.
Mhm.
But
Mostly
like
about murder.
but it's where like say your ideas will be even more, you take them to another level, and then I will try to make them more realistic. But it's the same idea. You know, I'm trying to say, like, you know, I may be here with it, you're all the way up here, and then we try to figure out like what the middle ground is.
Monique's thing is she's able to take ideas that I have that are really crazy and make them happen. I could say I want an air balloon and I want an elephant in the air balloon. And for some, and Monique is the one person I would be like, okay, that doesn't sound crazy, but in my head, it's definitely crazy to everyone else. But Monique's able to figure out how to make whatever it is happen. So she tethers me from floating too far to the sun and dying and being burnt. So I can say that we also have, we are the same, but we're different. And we both have our strengths in this relationship. So it
Mm-hmm.
works, it fits, we fit very well together because if I didn't have Monique, I don't think half of these ideas would ever be anywhere. They would just still be in my head.
But do you think maybe that's why we've worked through the years? Because like for example, we both have because you know, just a little bit more background, we both met in the arts. You know, we
Yeah.
went to the school of the arts for the arts. Do you think it's because we still have that creative side with us, and because most of our creations are very similar, why we are still able to be together?
I think, I mean, we've worked when we were kids on projects together, on ballets together. And I think we learned why are we, most people would be like, well, I want it this way and I want it that way and I want it this way. We've learned that either way is a good thing. Either way is, and we don't fight. We don't fight with each other. I think I think most of the time we actually come up with things at the same time and it's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. Or you say something and I add on to it, or vice versa. I say something and then you put, and I'm like, oh my God, that sounds even more better than what I had imagined. So I think because of how we worked so closely together when we were kids with our creativity, we've learned to just flow with everything and make things work. When I think people at this age, if they were working together, it would be like, well, I have to be dominant, I have to be dominant, I have to, like you said, we have no competition with each other.
Because I
So
think our personalities are more like, we neither of us want to be the boss. I think
yeah, I don't want to be
you
the
do it,
boss.
I'm
I'm
good, I'll
lazy.
follow.
Yeah.
But it's more like that's our personalities. But if there is, like, say, if you're lacking in something or I'm lacking in something, we are okay stepping up to the plate.
We're Pisces. We're both Pisces.
Yeah.
And
So
Pisces are people that we don't need to lead. We don't
no,
mind following, but if we have to,
then we
we
will.
have to.
No, but I'm but what I'm saying, like, say, do you think if we took out the creative piece, because I what, you know, looking about it, like you said, we're always like, that's one, not the only, but one of the things that I do like about you is that at the more adults or the more older I get, you kind of encourage me not to lose that creative side of me. And a lot of things that we have done throughout the years have always been creative. Through those creative ventures that we've taken together, we've learned more and more about one another, that I'm like, okay, I like this person. You know, this is a person that I genuinely like. But I'm wondering if that's why we're able to work, because we have a common ground, a common connection, a common passion. Why we're able to last this long, whereas maybe as for some people, as their lives get more and more hectic, those passions or whatever that they have just taken a back seat, and with that, those things taking a back seat, their friendships have also taken a back seat.
I mean, that's probably one of the things. I think the good thing, like you said, we do share these things and we try to share them to the point that we make things for those things.
Yeah.
Like we're creative. Let's be creative together. Let's just make it I mean, let's make a comic book because then we could be together. Like we create things to make it so that we can actually be together. While most people, even though they're friends and might have similar things, it's not, they don't work with it together.
Yeah, because I'm trying to envision, because the one thing I could say, most of my girlfriends are not like your typical girls. So I'm thinking like, when I think of like female relationships, I think of brunch. Um, Maybe if you're younger, going partying or clubbing, going to places basically to attract a mate. Whereas with my female friendships, it's more like we're spending time together, we're doing things together. Oh, what are you interested in? Let's go do it. Like, for example, you were interested in archery years ago, and then when you came down here, we went to archery. You know what I mean? We went to do archery together. Like our passions or whatever, we're doing other things than just brunch.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the whole thing is it's almost like a using situation when it comes to some friendships where it's like
Mhm.
I'm using you so I could go outside. I'm using you so I could hang out. I'm using you so that I could be noticed or seen. But when you're actually wanting to just hang out with a friend and just really have a conversation with them, it's totally different because you are just enjoying that friend. You're not doing it for other purposes, and
Yeah.
that was your whole thing. Their whole goal was to meet a guy. Your whole goal was to go out, get dolled up because you want to meet a dude. Like for us, it's like, you remember you came up for Halloween once, so we got
Oh
dolled up
yeah.
and everything else, and it was nice. We had a good time. It was different. um we listened to music, we took
Mhm.
pictures that we didn't like, and we had a good time. It wasn't like, oh, we're gonna meet some
Some
guy
guy or whatever.
and something
Yeah.
like that. It was just like, let's just have a good time. So when there's these extra things, I think that's a lot of times too. It's like, are people really just hanging out with each other because they like each other's company, or they're doing it for their own personal reasons? Like, trust me, you don't want to drive up here for 2 hours just to hang out with me and then find somebody. You're actually driving out here just to hang out with me and have a good time. Like, we don't ever realize what the time it is until we see the sun
And
setting and
I'm
we
like,
know
I gotta go because
yeah,
up here has no lights where you live.
you know, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like driving down to New Rochelle, like, you
Just to
know,
come, just to go to a club
yeah, I don't
or
feel like, I
whatever.
feel like eating and enjoying myself and just relaxing and enjoying the quality time that we have together. You could always go out and meet guys or meet
But that's
someone.
the thing. I feel like you said, with the using part, where probably they have problems being alone. Because I know, like, for me, my personality is where I'm a loner. I'd rather be alone. So going to the movies by myself, I don't mind. Going to eat by myself, I don't mind. Um, and I'm not really much of a socializer. Like, I really don't enjoy groups of people. So when I go out, it's not with a I guess I don't feel afraid going out by myself if I need to go out by myself. Whereas, like you said, like, someone may want to go out to a place, but they can't go by themselves. So they're like, okay, let me gather a group of people, talk them up, and let's all go out, hang out as friends. But in reality, you probably didn't even know anything about this person because you just call them whenever you're bored.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to eat by myself because I always feel like it's odd to eat by myself, and I know tons of
Mhm.
people who do. So I wouldn't call somebody to come out with me just to eat. I would just take out and bring back home so I could eat like a pig by myself. Like, I prefer that than anything else. Um, but I think people have, there's a word for it. People have just, their own priorities of what they really want. And I don't think that stems into an actual friendship. I think I notice, especially with me having a kid, I know somebody who has a kid or two, and their friends kind of just drifted off. I mean, I'll even say it. My sister has had her kid, and her friends started like not really talking to her. And look, she can't go out to a club. That doesn't mean you can't come over and hang out with your goddaughter or your niece or whatever you might want to say it to be. Yeah, it's different. It's a different dynamic because now it's like she's breastfeeding, she's doing this, she's doing that. You're not out dancing and clubbing. But if that was your friend to begin with, then that's what you accept them as. Um, you know, I had a kid, you never were like, oh, I can't hang out with you anymore. We don't have anything in common. We have tons of things in common. We can still talk, we can still hang out.
Yeah.
We could still do all those things, but I feel like people think that once you have a kid, you should be dead and then you shouldn't be able to do anything. And I can say one thing, and I think we always talk about my ex-mother-in-law. Her whole thing was always take time out for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Don't ever lose yourself.
don't
But
ever lose.
yeah, but I feel like it has to also do with like I said, like I feel like as I've gotten older, I realize it is hard to meet someone. Meeting a good friend or someone that you consider close with that is not a romantic type of relationship is hard to find. It's basically like finding the perfect partner that you or whoever you
Don't
feel
mind
is
me
the
eating.
perfect.
I need to eat. There's a
Go
baby
go ahead.
growling. Uh-huh.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
finding that perfect person for you, right? So for me, it's like you understand. And I think that comes also from your side of things where, okay, Monique is single, she doesn't have any kids.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother her with X, Y, and Z. You're telling me about it, but I don't feel like you're pressuring me to do something. I don't, there's certain things I just don't like. And you're not going to pressure me because like, well, all my friends, that have kids are doing this. Let me invite her. You think about like, okay, is this somewhere that Monique would want to go? No, it's not. I'll tell her what I'm doing or whatever, but I'm not going to expect her to do
Like
that.
a kid's birthday party. Like when I try to do a kid's birthday party, I think Fox's first was different because it was his first.
But I like,
But
wait, was it there for, yeah, I was there.
no,
No, I wasn't there for the first.
no, but that was okay. But you came to, I don't think I threw one for his second, but the
No,
third, I think I did. Well, no, the fourth, I think I did the
the
train,
fourth you did.
and then the fifth,
And
I
then the
did
fifth.
a farm. But when I do things, I feel like, especially because there are grown adults around, parents are there. I don't want to sit around looking at other people's kids. Like I want something that people can actually enjoy altogether, whether you have a kid, you don't have a kid, because I know as when I didn't have a kid and I had to go to kids parties or think about going to kids parties, I'm dreading it. Like I'm going to be
Yeah.
sitting here watching a kid cut a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cake. Oh wow, this is fantastic. So I picked things to also, so my friends could feel, you know like, yes, they want to be there for my kid, but how much of that can you do? You're like, let's make it into something that everybody can enjoy. And I think that's what happens. I think people forget, like, well, I have a kid. Okay, well, you still were a person that didn't have a kid at one point in time. Remember that person.
Yeah, and not even that, but I guess what irks my nerves is like those that, like, for example, let's say that this came out of a relationship, like, whether it's divorce or whatever, they do have kids or whatever. They kind of lean on you for a time, but they can make time to kind of replace their significant other, right? So it's like now they're looking for now they're looking for a new boyfriend or whatever. All of a sudden they have all this time that they didn't have before.
Hmm. Hmm.
So to me, it shows me that, like anything, even when you're dating, the person you're dating is going to make time for the person they want to be with.
Hmm.
like there are so many days in hours in a day, you're going to find some time. And I feel like if you both are understanding, I'm going to know that I can't talk to you for 5 hours out of the day. I could probably only talk to you for 20 minutes or whatever, because you have other things going on. But that's where, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you have to give a little. You can't just say, oh, I've been friends with this person for 20 years, but you've only hung out with them probably twice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's where it just irks my nerves, in the sense of, like, I really do consider a friendship a relationship. And in every relationship, you have to put in work.
When you're noticing people not making time for you, but you see them doing 3,000 things, and all you're asking for is like, hey,
Just
do
text
you
me
want,
hi.
yeah, text me. Let's all do this together, or something like this. And it's just like, just the text, just to say hi. And you're asking somebody, and that's also a thing, communication. If you ask me you ask me, Uni, hey, I've been feeling like our relationship has been, strained. You think that it would be possible if we could maybe check in with each other
Mm-hmm.
once a day or something like that? I have to acknowledge that you felt a certain way. And so, yes, because I want this friendship to work, and it's a friendship, and I think maybe that's why people don't take very seriously. If I want this friendship to work, I'm gonna have to go, you know what? I understand. And so, yes, every day I will check in or say something or do something so that you know that I am
Thinking about you.
acknowledging.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think people think that you only do that with your intimate partners or your significant others or your spouse, your whatever. No, it's with any relationship. With any relationship you have, it should be important enough to you to keep going, unless you really just don't work anymore. And that happens sometimes too.
Yeah, I think that's when you
People
have to
grow up.
yeah, you
Totally
realize
different.
if you need a break, I guess, or not even a break, if this has run its course. Because I know that sometimes that could be another topic, but sometimes we hold on to things longer than we really need to hold on to it. But I feel like, just like in any other relationship,
We know that.
we're still holding on. Well, I think
Hmm.
you gave up.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think with anything, it's like you have to know when things have run its course. But it's like a romantic relationship. You can't put this much work and effort in it and not communicate, these are my needs.
Hmm.
If you don't communicate what your needs are, the person is going to continue behaving how they're behaving, not knowing that they're hurting you. But if you're communicating that, that's how you know whether or not this person respects that relationship. Because if I, like you said, if you communicated to me that you don't like this, or something is lacking within our relationship, and I don't do anything about it, I feel that says a lot. That says a lot of volume about how you really do take this relationship, because oftentimes you're not really knowing how someone is benefiting from being your friend,
Hmm.
whereas you're looking at it as something genuine.
Hmm. Well, your friendship, like you said, is the start of any kind of other relationship. So communication is always a big thing in any relationship. Communication. If I don't know how you feel, I'm going to continue just ignoring you, or like, oh, well, she's okay, she's still there, she's
Mm-hmm,
still there.
mm-hmm.
So one day you're like, you're gone. And if it's on two people, you should
Yeah,
have said something. And maybe I should have really been paying
paid
attention
attention.
to your
Yeah.
cues and to things that you would say. Because if you're just answering me with a yes and a no, and it's just one worded sentences, I should assume there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's
You know,
just
I
like we get our spurts where we say to one another, I'm not allowed to be let's say a hot mess when you're a hot mess. Someone has to
has to
be
be.
able.
Yeah.
But whenever we both are a hot mess, we know, because like the vibe is off.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's when we usually go running to someone for help. Um, but I no, I just feel like you said, is this being aware? Like, wait, I normally hear from this person. I haven't heard from them. Because even like say yesterday, I didn't read. I was sending you all these messages yesterday. I'm like, I haven't heard from her. Oh, she's okay. And I was like, okay, well, if I don't hear from her in the morning, because we plan to kind of
Oh no,
connect
I
in
looked at
the
my phone.
morning.
I'm like, I had such a pounding headache, and I don't know what it is, but I just felt bad. I felt pain. I was like, I'll text her in the morning. She'll know
No,
that
no,
I'm.
that's what I'm saying. It's like in the sense of that doesn't, and I don't know, because we've been together for so long, that doesn't hurt me. It's more like, okay, she's either busy, she's not feeling well, but I'm gonna give her a space today. I'm still gonna send her messages, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna give her a space today. And then tomorrow when we're supposed to connect, if I don't hear from her, then all alarms are gonna go off. You know what I mean? All the calls are gonna be
Something's
made
wrong.
and
What's
everything
going?
like
Yeah.
that, but like you said, I think it's just understanding what it is that you have a relationship. If it is a relationship that you both feel, because remember, we always talk about it, a relationship takes more than one person. If it's where you both feel like this is something that you want to continue, this is something that you both benefit from, then you both are just going to have to communicate with one another to see how is it our friendship is going to work, and to have the understanding is that as we grow, as we get older, the dynamic that we have with this other person is going to change. It's just up to the two people to figure out how this change is going to look.
Hmm. I think we're. I think because we discuss it all the time about friendship, I think we're in a safe place at this moment. I
Yeah.
feel going back to like, how we keep a relationship going when one friend has kids and the other one doesn't? There's definitely pros to it, because I feel, and I think when you have a kid, it's going to even be more like you're flexible right now in a sense, even
Yeah.
though you work and you do like Monique has like 3,000 jobs. Um, but she's flexible so that if I can't make it, she could always come to me, or vice versa. She has more time. When you have a kid, it's going to be even more strained because there's no flexibility on either end now.
No, but then that we will have to sit down and reevaluate, like, what does that look like for both of us? Like you
Mhm.
said, like, it's not that I have time, my time is my time. Whereas with you, your time is not just your time. You have other people that,
Mhm.
your time is incorporated with. But then, like I said, this is where we now would have to sit down, not physically sit down, but just say, you know what, this is the attention that I need. This is what I can give you right now. This is what you can give me right now. Let's figure out how to keep this going. But like I said, that's where the communication comes into play.
Yes. Because I
Yeah.
can see that being a really, like right now, like I said, it's nice because I can still have your attention. Not that you don't have 3,000 things going on, but it's a little bit of a give or flexibility. With me, it's like my kid needs to go to sleep. I have to feed this child. I have
Or
to
like
make.
say, you know what, I have plans for someone to watch him, but that person cannot
Mhm.
right now. So the plans change because your time is not just your time. But like I said, I feel like it's going to be a challenge,
Mhm.
but I feel like we have gone through so much that we'll figure it out. You know what
We'll
I mean? Like
adapt.
we'll try to figure it out. It may not be where, like
We could just go get crab for me, and I could just get down there and be
bring
like, I
crabs
need
for
some
you,
crabs.
whatever. You know what I
I
mean?
It's not gonna happen. You're gonna be like, Uni, no, eat McDonald's today. I'll be like, okay. That's all I could afford. The diapers are expensive. I'm like, yes, that's fine with me.
No, but it will just be where maybe our meme consumption or what we give to one another just increases even more. Or, where we'll probably text each other more because I don't think we text as much. We more talk than we do text.
I mean, we're on the
Um,
phone for 5 hours.
but it will just have the dynamic itself will change. But hopefully I'm thinking how we work together, how we are, our communication could always be better. Everyone's communication could be better. um we'll figure it out,
Mhm.
especially if this is something that continues to be important to both of us.
It is because I plan to be in the same nursing home as you, at least.
Yeah, hopefully somewhere nice, somewhere
Yeah.
very nice.
I probably won't even know what's going on, honestly, to tell you the truth.
I think you'll be fine. Your memory is way better than mine.
Yeah, for now. In a couple of months, it might not be.
Once
But
you're sleep deprived. But no, I just feel like it's all about a compromise and figuring out what is best. And I think also, like, when you do have someone else, your partner also has to be understanding. Like, there's this article, and we could discuss it another day. Because I know that we're about to wrap up, but where this girl, she wrote an article saying that whenever she has a boyfriend or like someone, that she feels is gonna stay in her life, she tells them, "My best friend is number one. Just
mhm,
know that my best friend is number one. You will not be number one because this person has been there for me and this person will
exactly.
always be there for me." So I feel like it's also depending on your partner, whether that person is understanding, because you do have some people that they require all of your attention. So it's
Mhm.
where it's a juggle where, okay, I can't, I only have
And
so
that
much to
itself
give.
is toxic, just to even
Yeah.
state that. Somebody requires all your attention to the point that you can't see your friends, you can't talk to your friends or your family, do things on your own. And they're just, some people thrive on clingy. And if they're both clingy, sure. But that's a big sign of a narcissist. It's a big sign of a toxic relationship, because when they're trying to pull you away from everything that you are, um, I know definitely. So when I hear stuff like that, it's just like red
Are you
flag,
sure? Yeah. No, and I
red
think
flag.
but that's what I feel like you have to have. Like I said, we'll have more discussions on this, but that's why you have to have other people around you, because when you go into a romantic relationship, oftentimes we do have those red rose colored glasses, I believe that's the term, on, that you don't notice things. But if you have a friend that they always have your best interest in mind, you will, you have a listening ear, I mean, you're listening out for those things, because I feel
Mhm.
at the end of the day, your friend just wants you to be happy. Like a true friend
Oh
wants you
yeah.
to be happy. They want you to have the best, type of thing. But like I can understand, like, like people's lives get overwhelming, but I feel like it's just working it out and seeing what works for you and that other person, in order to keep the relationship going.
I think that's the whole thing. It's just communication and quality time. And it doesn't, you don't need to speak like we do, like 5 hours a day, but just the quality of it should be really
Enough. Yeah.
big. It should be good when you are together. It should be, r- it should be fun. It should be a wonderful, enjoyable time.
You
And
should
I
actually leave feeling relaxed. You shouldn't
Oh
be
yeah. I
feeling
think we both
stressed.
feel like that. We both feel like we could just punch people in the faces and just like yeah, punch you in the face, get out of my face. Like we feel like we could do anything. Um and I think that goes into even an intimate relationship. You're both working, you're both doing these things, you should still have each it's not the quantity, because people think that you should sit next to somebody and that's good enough,
Hmm.
and it's like that's not good enough. Wow, you're sitting next to me, great. So is the pillow, so is the TV. They're all there in the room, but what are they really doing? They're occupying space. It's the quality.
No, it's a quality of time and understanding that both you and your partner also need lives outside of just this little unit. Because,
Hmm.
like I said, everyone is not going to meet everyone's needs. And I think it's naive to think that one person is going to meet all of your needs.
And that's okay if they don't. It's
No, it's okay.
okay.
Everyone
Like,
has their place.
then
Everyone.
you make that quality, that thing that you want yourself. Whatever it is that you want that person to do, then you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you have an open relationship, which is fine.
Yeah.
I would
It,
punch my guy in the face if he wanted an open relationship. He would be murdered. But whatever I'm expecting him to do, then I'm gonna have to figure out what I can do for myself to make that feel like I
No,
respect.
and that's where, like, like we said, a friendship is a relationship, because you have to figure out what is it that you need from the other person, what is it that you can give, and that one person is not going to meet all your needs.
Mhm.
Mhm. All right, so I guess we could end it here for today.
Wow,
I hope
thank
that you enjoyed this session with both myself and Uni, and we hope that you will come back and join more episodes. But one question that I will leave for all of you before we go is, does your friendships look like as an adult? If you are an adult, do you still have your friendships or maintain your friendships from when you were younger? We would love to hear from you all, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.